Over 3 years ago, Disney decided to cut ties with its renowned director James Gunn after some controversial tweets. In retrospect, it turned out that many responsible people were disregarded in this decision, and above all, it became apparent that the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise would be better off with James Gunn after all. Meanwhile, Gunn joined rival DC and filmed The Suicide Squad, while Disney tried hard to bring Gunn back for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Since then, quite a bit has happened, for despite the pandemic, a great deal of work has been done on the third part over the past few months. A few days ago, James Gunn finally revealed on Twitter that filming of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 had begun. Appropriately, Gunn published a small emotional message and a photo of the main cast. In addition to the director, you can see Chris Pratt, Pom Clementieff, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillan, Sean Gunn, as well as Chukwudi Iwuji, who you know from Gunn's Peacemaker series. Besides, there is one newcomer who is not visible in the picture, and that is Will Poulter. The 20-year-old will play the role of Adam Warlock in the upcoming part, as has been known since recently. We hope for a trouble-free shooting and are already looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is scheduled for release on May 5th, 2023. Bad news for Star Wars fans. As reported by The Hollywood Reporter, those responsible for Star Wars Rogue Squadron will not be able to meet the production schedule. The main reason is director Patty Jenkins, who has yet to complete her two major projects, Cleopatra and Wonder Woman 3 first. As if that were not enough, she is also simultaneously working on a Wonder Woman spin-off about the Amazons. Originally, the plan was to let the filming of Rogue Squadron take place between the shooting of Wonder Woman 3 and Cleopatra. In the meantime, however, they have realized that the time window for a Star Wars movie is far too tight, making the postponement the only reasonable thing to do. The original release date of December 22, 2023 is still to remain important, however. Rumor has it that another Star Wars movie will be released on this date instead. This is supposed to be the film by director J.D. Dillard and screenwriter Matt Owens, which was officially announced in early 2020. At least that's what some fans are speculating, which includes ruling out a project by Rian Johnson on that day due to his involvement with the Knives Out sequel. Dillard, on the other hand, has practically completed his Devotion project and would in theory have time to realize a Star Wars film soon. The plot could then take place in the Age of the High Republic, for example, similar to the upcoming series The Acolyte. Of course, it should be noted that this is still pure speculation, since it's neither certain which Star Wars film will take the place of Rogue Squadron, nor what its plot might look like. The play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child has been a well-known name to many fans for quite some time. The idea of the play comes from J.K. Rowling, Jack Thorne, and John Tiffany and continues the story of Harry Potter 19 years after the epic battle against Voldemort. Harry now works in the magical law enforcement at the Ministry of Magic and is a proud family man. His youngest child, Albus Severus, named of course after the two famous wizards, suffers from being in the spotlight all the time and is looking for a way out of his father's shadow. In an interview with Variety, director Chris Columbus talked about his desires to bring the play to the big screen as well. He said that the actors of Harry, Ron, and Hermione are at the ideal age to star in The Cursed Child. He's referring of course to Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson, all of whom are in their early 30s, and that's only a few years younger than their respective characters in the story. The idea of a movie adaptation certainly has its appeal, but there is one major problem with it. The play relies on time travel to earlier events. Two characters who appear in flashbacks are, for example, Snape and McGonagall. Unfortunately, Alan Rickman has already passed away in 2016, and Maggie Smith is 86 years old. Therefore, the question arises as to how an appearance in the movie could be made. Especially with Snape, they are likely to scare off the entire fanbase with both a recasting or an insertion via modern film technology. What do you think of the idea of a film adaptation, and what are your thoughts on how it could be done? Feel free to tell us in the comments. Last Thursday, Paramount announced that two high-quality films have been significantly pushed back. One of them is Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. The now seventh part is directed by Stephen Caple Jr. and is set in Brooklyn during the 1990s. Unfortunately, fans will now have to wait much longer because, as those in charge have communicated, Rise of the Beasts will no longer be released in June 2022, but on June 9th, 2023. The same is true for the second Paramount film, Star Trek, which is now scheduled for release on December 22nd, 2023. Not much is known yet in terms of content, and other than director Matt Shakman and screenwriters Josh Friedman and Cameron Squires, no big names have been revealed. Paramount's maneuver regarding the postponement of Star Trek could actually be related to Disney's rescheduling of Rogue Squadron, because apparently those involved are speculating that this time frame is now free and thus they won't have to release in direct competition with the Star Wars movie on the theatrical market. Regardless, fans of both Star Trek and Transformers will have to remain patient. Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson have had a somewhat troubled past. The two have clashed on set more than once, and eventually the dispute even resulted in the splitting of Johnson's character Luke Hobbs into a spin-off of his own. Additionally, Johnson announced he would in no way return for the 10th Fast and Furious installment. On Instagram, Diesel now posted a picture of the two of them with a fairly long text aimed at getting Johnson to reconsider his decision. Among other things, there's talk of Diesel's children and their uncle Dwayne sending each other well wishes every holiday. Moreover, there is no other actor who would be suitable for the role of Luke Hobbs, according to Diesel's own tone. Then there are the reactions of the fans to the post. Many write that Johnson should pull himself together one more time, especially for Paul Walker and the Fast and Furious family. One thing for sure is that Dwayne Johnson is the highest paid actor in the world and has no need whatsoever to be starring in Fast and Furious 10. Diesel's attempts to get Johnson to return in this manner are also kind of sneaky and only serve to turn Fast and Furious fans against Johnson should he decline the offer. There's still some time until the release of Fast and Furious 10 on April 7th, 2023, but we still do not expect Johnson to be part of this film. The manga series One Piece, which has been running since 1997, is one of the most successful of its kind. For some time now, it has been known that Netflix wants to tie in with the franchise's great success by creating its own live-action series. The official Twitter account provided us with a first impression of the actors and actresses last Tuesday. In addition, individual portraits of the cast were published. We can see Iñaki Godoy, who will play the nascent pirate king Monkey D. Luffy. He is joined by Mekenyu as swordsman Roronoa Zoro, Emily Rudd as navigator Nami, Jacob Gibson as craftsman and sniper Usopp, and Taz Skylar as well-dressed chef Zunji. Expectations couldn't be higher given the enormous popularity of One Piece, but the first look at the cast seems promising at least. We can only hope that the series doesn't follow in the footsteps of the Netflix movie Death Note, which was highly criticized by the fan community. Unfortunately, a release date for the 10-episode series revolving around the Straw Hat Pirates is not yet known. Up to now, fans of the science fiction universe Gundam have had to be satisfied with only a little information about the planned live-action film adaptation. Although it is assumed that the adaptation from Legendary will be very similar to the original series, more details are still being kept under wraps. At least there is a first promising photo to admire. The concept art shows one of the many robots that are controlled by humans and play a major role in this science fiction story. In the TV series, humanity has long since left for outer space, where various colonies have been formed. Eventually, war breaks out with the Earth. The initial image whets the appetite for more, even though it's not entirely clear when Gundam will be released. In any case, it has been decided that the movie will not be shown in theaters, it will only be available via video on demand. And that's it for the latest news. Fans of terrific creatures should definitely not miss our latest original on Jurassic World Dominion. You can also find the most recent clip for Ghostbusters Afterlife and the first trailer for the Toy Story spin-off Lightyear on our channel.